How's it going? Alrighty then, live from my best friend's couch. Here's Johnny. Whee! And today we got special guest and best friend at Dan Talks Rasslin over here.
I'm on a separate couch at the moment.
Just had to rub it in, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get my own couch. It's a pretty sweet deal. So we're here tonight, and we want to talk to you about where we were last Friday at the FWE show. Welcome something about a Rumble 2. And that was in Corona, Queens, New York City, and we were there. So, how long in advance did we know that that show was coming?
I don't remember offhand. A few months, anyway.
We were debating either going to that or going to the House of Hardcore 2, right?
Yeah, which was in Philly.
Which was in Philly. So we decided that we were going to go with the safer option, which was closer to home. Not that we wouldn't have gone to House of Hardcore 2, because that looked like it was going to be an awesome show. We were at the first one. We did the little, speech about it on the channel beforehand. You can go back and look at that one. A lot of the same kind of feel. At least in terms of, like, the autograph and the structure of the card, all that. So it was kind of nice, and FWE co-promoted the first House of Hardcore, and I'm sure the second one as well. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. So, you and I pretty much spent the whole day on the train and going down and getting lost, kind of walking around a few blocks and going the wrong way.
That's what usually happens.
Well, that's safe to say that with me. I don't get out of my mother's basement all that often, and when I do, I'm sitting over here on a couch. So, city, it's a little bit rough for a guy like me. I did find the hot dog guy in Grand Central Station, though. I just thought I would, throw that out there. I did not get lost when it came to the food. So, you got a hug from your girlfriend there. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, can't complain there.
2, actually, right? You got 2?
Yes.
All right, so...
Yeah, one's 4 at the signing and one's...
4 and after when we were leaving.
Yeah.
Man, damn. This got cleaned up over here. We had a great time down there, didn't we?
Yeah.
I know you said you wanted to keep this kind of brief. A couple of highlights real quick that you can point out, that something that stands out, why this show was important to go to, and what you really liked about it as opposed to maybe some of the other ones that we've seen.
Well, you want to go first, since, it's your show and everything.
Okay.
This is why I write.
This is why you write, yeah. I have time to plan it out. All right, fuck it. Right. One of the big, huge fucking things for me is the really personal, down-home feel that it has when you go to a show like this, where they have, kind of like the open forum for a couple of hours to go around, meet people, talk to them, get autographs, that kind of shit, as opposed to, like you said on your blog, the more assembly line type of, meet and greet, where there's 6 people or 8 people at a table. You throw a piece of paper in front of them, they sign it, and that's it. You don't really get to sit down and really talk, war stories or thank them or anything, really. It's just kind of like, oh, hello, hi, how you doing? Maybe a handshake if you're lucky.
Or, of course, as opposed to your experience with the WWE method of just not bothering to do even that.
Oh, no, that show was god-awful. But we've talked about that before. We won't need to get into it. But, yes, that show in Hartford, Connecticut, there were no autographs. It was it. You didn't get shit. See you later. Bye. Not that either one of us watch WWE anymore, but, maybe that's a lot of why. It doesn't feel like it connects with us at all, let alone at the house show where it should connect. That's where you're trying to recharge your fan base batteries, man. And let me tell you, this FWE show, it was promoted pretty well, at least, since he and I up here all the way in upstate New York heard about it. It got pretty good press. And I think a lot of that press was his presence on the internet, where they were also streaming live on iPay-per-view that same night. So we were on TV. It was pretty cool. I liked how it was a smaller type of venue. It wasn't one of your typical 20,000, cram 'em in seater shows. It was... Would you say that holds more people than the Mid-Hudson?
Less.
Holds
So
less.
I think the capacity they had listed for that place in Queens was 900, and Mid-Hudson is about 2,000.
Okay, so it was half.
Yeah. And it was
Um,
set up actually very similarly, where you had the bleacher going up on one side as the general admission seats, and then, of course, the floor seats around the ring. But I like that kind of setup, because really any seat in the house is going to have a good view, even if you're up at the very top.
yeah, the nosebleed seats are technically only about 20 feet away from the ring, so it's like, how do you really fuck that up, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody got a good show. Everybody was part of the show. I remember at one point, you talked about this on your blog too, but I'm gonna steal it. Paul London, when he came out for his entrance, made sure to high five every fucking fan that was there.
Yeah.
I mean, his music went and went and went, and he was going one side to the other. It really reminded me of like the old days when the babyface used to march around the ring and make sure that he high-fived everybody. Or they would go through, like a DDP would come through the crowd, and whatever side that was on, people would run up to fucking try to touch him, and he would stay there, and it would get high fives. It was awesome. It was, you know, it made you feel like you're part of something. The show, they're not there for themselves. They're not there for the paycheck. They're there for the fans. And these kind of shows have that kind of feel, wouldn't you say?
I'd say so.
All right. It's pretty fair.
Yeah.
So, you know, another big thing is like when you're going to get these people's autographs, you obviously want to make a connection with them and tell them, look, I've been following your career for 10 years. I've been following your career for as long as you've been doing it. I only just really noticed who the hell you are, but I really enjoy your work ethic. You're this, you're that, the other thing. I remember in particular when we were trying to meet the Young Bucks. What the fuck is it? Matt, Nick, Jackson?
Yeah.
Okay. Also known as Generation Me with their stint in TNA. They fucking searched for at least 5 minutes for t-shirts that were the right size for us instead of just throwing shit at us and calling it a day like some other places would do. Like, they cared. We got a picture, albeit loading sideways for some reason. You know, they were cool about the autographs. They were reducing everything for a combo package. If you got t-shirt, autograph, picture, it was just like they wanted to talk to you. They wanted to be there. They wanted to get their name out, but they also wanted to fucking make sure that everybody there felt like, you know, they were part of it, because that's what local wrestling is to me. It's not a bunch of fucking assholes filling up an auditorium somewhere. It's people that are passionate about this shit going to it. You know, if there's going to be hardly anybody from the big leagues, like, you know, it's people that really want to just go see wrestling, and people that really care about the performers that are going to be there. Maybe you only have one or two at, you know, set event, but, you know, we got to meet Dreamer, we got to meet Carlito, we met fucking Chris Masters, we met just about everybody there. I think we might have skipped out on Yang, Jimmy Wang, Akio Yang, whatever the hell they're calling him. We didn't go for RVD autographs. I personally didn't care. I'm not a big fan of his, but there was quite the draw for him. I don't think I got Maria Kanellis either, but just about everybody else there we did.
Just about.
That was like the three that we didn't do, but we got Angelina Love, we got Katarina Lee.
Of course.
Well, of course. Well, we are in the army of boys. It has its perks. Dan got not one but two pictures, and not one but two hugs. I mean, he made out like a bandit. This guy here. I mean, I'm sure she's going to meet him for dinner later in the week, and I don't know anything about it, but that's besides the point. But yeah, just a really cool, like an old school feel. You know, like a throwback. We love you guys. We keep doing this for you. Kind of kiss our ass. And not in like a really cheesy way, but just in like a rewarding give back to you kind of way. And it's just nice. And the crowd, I think, was really excellent too. Like, you know, except for those little assholes on the outside of the arena before we got in, chanting all the dumb shit about Cena and God knows what else. Every time somebody'd walk in with a wrestling shirt, they'd start up a new chant. It's like, will you shut up?
I think they eventually did get the shut the fuck up chant.
Oh yeah, that
everybody
happened.
else.
That was true. That did happen. I mean, you covered all the matches on the blog. We don't really need. I'm gonna put the link, or I'm gonna, you know, tell them where to go for that. But I mean, realistically, if you guys don't know it by now, you haven't been listening to this fucking thing. It's dantalkswrestling.livejournal.com. Fucking go there. You can see all the pictures. I might put some of the pictures up while this thing's rolling, so you can see a few of them. I might put the poster thing that was for for the advertisement for the event itself, just whatever I've got on the computer here. But some of the standout fucking moments and some of the standout matches on that show, the opener was fucking incredible. Petey Williams and Kendrick, just what a solid way to kick off a night. High energy. Neither one of them was getting booed. Like, Petey Williams really wanted to be a heel in this match, but not happening, man. I was cheering his ass on the entire time. People were behind him. You know, it wasn't just me, which is normally good because that means that I'm not the odd one out.
Yeah, usually you are the one that's the one guy cheering for the heels.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, older fans like myself, you get sick of the babyface BS, and you want something different to cheer. And you know, I don't think anybody really cheesed it up there, but you know, it was just a feel good all around event. I think that in just about every case, the right people went over in the matches, so the booking was, you know, right there. It made sense. It was logical. They didn't pull any weird screw jobs or anything. No. And the only match that I would really complain about, honestly, was the one for their title. Was Carlito and John Morrison there of Hennigan, whatever they call him, from the WWE. Just that match, it was dead. It was dead on his feet when it started. It was dead at the end. It never went anywhere.
Yeah, they really didn't seem to have much chemistry, and it did kind of lose the crowd, I think.
It really lost the crowd.
Yeah.
The good news is after that was their main event, their Battle Royale, which was fucking fantastic. Tell them a little bit about the Battle Royale. What do you remember?
Stone Cold E.T.
Stone Cold E.T. He must have been the funniest guy there, man.
Yeah.
Coming out, talking shit at the dumb son of a bitch. He was in Master's face.
And was promptly put in the Master Lock and thrown out.
Yeah, he didn't last too long, but he was by and far the most over one in there. Yeah. I mean, it was fun while it lasted with him. He was a good time. Unfortunately, he was not available for autographs because I would have bought a Stone Cold E.T. shirt. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Or a mask, even. For the kids? Come on. Why does this guy not have merch? Maybe he does. I just haven't seen it. But, you know, for all that Dreamer does to promote other shit, like, this was a really good chance for him to go over in that main event and to have a title shot later on down the road, be able to put the newer generation over like he's always done. I know that, you know, a lot of people usually give these other shows shit because it's not the big leagues and it's a bunch of old fossils usually trying to cling to the spot that they used to have, you know, 20 years ago or 15 or whatever the hell it was. But Dreamer's never been one of those guys, and to meet him in person, and you got to talk to him for a little bit about the House of Hardcore show. He didn't get to hear my comment about how he bought, you know, T-shirts and stuff from his mom, but you know, there were a lot of people there, and they were making noise the entire time. It was never a quiet, dull thing, except for really the title match they had between Carlito and Henny. It was dead. We spent all that match really talking to the guy that was sitting next to us that we didn't know from. What the hell is it? It was like Boston or something, right?
I think so.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, we met it. I don't remember his name now. I think it was like Jeff or Jared or some J name. I have a J
Jeff
name.
or Jared.
Not Jarrett, Jared.
Okay. Just checking.
Jeff Jarrett. Fuck that guy. I wouldn't want to meet that guy. But I mean, it was a good time overall because they came back with the Battle Royal. It saved the whole show. You know, and that was the very ending thing. It sent everybody home on a positive note, and we were done. But, like, from top to bottom, I think the show was well done, even if that, you know, women's match was kind of weird, what it was.
I thought it was fine, but it was hurt by where it was on the card.
Well, let's talk about that tag match a little bit.
In EWR terms, the crowd was still pumped from the previous match, and this one was seen as something of a letdown.
Yeah. Just didn't do anything. You know, it was predictable from the start when they came out, and, you know, Maria and, you know, her boyfriend were all hugging and kissing and crap, and I don't know. After the Young Bucks versus Nese and Jigsaw, which, by the way, if you haven't seen Tony Nese and you haven't seen Jigsaw, not necessarily as a team, but just as performers themselves, you need to go look them up because they're fantastic. And if you don't know who the Young Bucks are, holy fuck, are you missing out? Like, I know at the House of Hardcore event, Edge was putting them over as like the new Hardy Boys essentially, and I don't know so much if I believe in that as I believe they could be the new Rockers, the new Shawn Michaels and the new Marty Jannetty. Only with this team, there's no weaker link. They're really just good. I know the one's considerably older than the other, right? By like 9 years or whatever the hell it is, but
couple years anyway.
They're such great talents, and they're young enough to where, they've got a really good ride ahead of them still, but they're doing like the necessary grassroots, building it up. Like, it really took old baby faces that were running territories to do until they got to the big time. And when they do, they're going to bring that fucking little niche audience with them, and they're just going to be over. Because you know as well as I do that when you go to a show and you're not familiar with who they are, if other people in the crowd either start chanting or start booing, you're going to follow suit just because. It's like the accepted thing.
Peer pressure?
Well, yeah. It's what it is. It's, you're... Anyway, Tony Nese, Jigsaw, and the Young Bucks put on what I think was the match of the night. Probably what you think, too, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. If you guys are going to get this DVD or see it, you saw it on the iPay-per-view, the spot where they were doing the Super Kick Fest was just... It made me jump out of my chair. It was like, yes, do it! It was good. Really, I don't like... For me, there were a few surprise entrants in the Battle Royal, and that was a big selling point for us to go, was the Battle Royal, because it was going to have guys that you didn't know who all of them were going to be, and some of it was a secret there, which was suspense. But a lot of what did it for me too was just the bottom of the card working all the way up. It looked strong from beginning to end, and it kind of was. And by the way, Paul London's Tri-Borough title, I know that both of us here, you and I, we're New Yorkers, and we're biased to New Yorky kind of things, like pizza and whatever the fuck else New York is known for.
No, just the pizza.
Just pizza. What else do we need to be known for? It's pizza. It's amazing. Who wouldn't want pizza? Yeah, but Paul London, that title that he's got, the Tri-Borough title, man. One, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. And two, couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Three, I already said that. It's a beautiful looking belt. If you get the chance to look this thing up, do it, because it's... What the hell's even on it anymore? The Brooklyn Bridge is on there?
Yeah, Manhattan Skyline, Brooklyn Bridge, and it's actually the FWE logo, but kind of like mimicking the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. We got a photo taken, two of us, with London holding that thing out in front. Man, he's got the biggest smile on, like he just won the fucking lottery holding this thing up. And it is nice looking, gorgeous belt.
That was actually towards the end of the autograph signing too, and he still had that level of energy.
Oh man, he was going all night. I mean,
the ring announcer actually was like kind of tapping him on the shoulder, saying, "You're on in 15 minutes. You should go get ready." And he still stuck around and made sure everybody got to meet him that was in line and had a conversation with everybody. So it's pretty cool.
Everybody that walked up to those tables got something out of it, more than just a signature and a here you go and give me your money. And I love that about these little house shows that we're going to. Like we went to the was it In Your House or In Your Face or what the hell?
Yeah, in Your Face up in Boston spot.
Yeah, that's where we met. We met Rosita, Thea Trinidad. We met Shelton Benjamin also, and
Little
Guido, and we got stories out of these guys that you never get time to hear at any of the bigger promotion meet and greets because you never stick around. We must have talked to Rosita, I swear to God, for 45 minutes.
Yeah, because it was like half an hour the first time, and then after we came back from lunch, we went back to the venue because this was like a convention, and then there was a show at night. She wasn't booked for the show part, so she was on her way out when we came back from lunch, and she called us over while she's in the car. We talked to her for like another 10 minutes at that point.
She flagged us down because she remembered who we were. It was so cool. And even at that show, just the amount of presence that these people gave to the fans, they really were, they were just what's the word I'm looking for? Fucking just dead honest with him, and we're candid. You know, there's like this generous air of, you know, I'm really thankful for you guys being here, and you know, and then later on that night, man, like the couple of people we met, like we met Bobby Fish, and what, did he charge $1 for the photo?
Yeah.
Like when some people charge 20, he was like, they just make me charge something, so give me $1, you can both be in it, it's cool. It's up on my Facebook even.
Yeah, that was with the Ring of Honor tag belt too.
Yeah, he had the tag belt there. Man, his belts look so good.
Yeah.
The hell? We need to get us some titles, Dan.
Well, we did have the our tag titles from when we were 14 years old.
Cardboard.
They were made out of cardboard, but
Yeah.
it was something.
And then I stapled old school printer paper to it, and wrote the nutcases on it.
Yeah, we
because
just
that
hand
was
wrote
us.
tag team champions, the nutcases.
I think I used some stupid markers I had from like 6 years before that.
They had like this, on the words the nutcases, they had like this really fancy T on the beginning, like that was going to be the like really cool font we were going to use. And then you could just tell we lost interest in doing that much effort in it, because it's
All
like
the rest
this
of the
really
letters are
fancy
just-
T on the, and then the rest is just like block letters.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling that.
I still have mine, by the way.
We get to break that out and get a picture of it. Just overall, just really a good show, a good climate, good crowd. We followed some other people back to the subway after that, because I had no idea where the fuck we were going. And they were cool. Nobody was, you know, raising a big stink, and I'm not one for walking around in Queens or any part of New York City in the middle of the fucking night, you know, because you never know what to expect. But man, it was so chill down there. Like, it must have been a good part of town. I don't know. Like, I wasn't even nervous. And you know, we're upstate guys. We come from towns of like 1,000 or 2,000 people. There's nobody here. Sometimes I go out for a walk at night with the dog, and I don't see a soul. You know, people's nightlights aren't even on. Like, it was just, you know, it was a culture shock for me, but it was really cool. And we got, you know, we rode the subway, we did all the typical New York City shit you can do, besides, you know, like walk around, get lost. And then we went to a cool wrestling show, and it was just a full day event, and I was with my best buddy over here. I had so much fun, dude. I'm like bottled up with just, you know, positivity and a good experience out of all of it.
It'd be a good album title, Bottled Up with Positivity.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck kind of music it would be, because it's not emo enough to be out anything that's out these days, but
Probably Christian rock.
folk. It'll be dubstep, you know it. It'll sound like this. Kind of sounds like a transformer having a spasm, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it did.
Play that back in slow motion, anybody. Tell me what the fuck happened there. Oh, God. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to add to this? Just go support local live wrestling,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah, I guess
mean,
that's about it.
it's like,
I mean,
be one of the best things you do for yourself if you're a Rasslin fan, you know, like we are. And even if you're not a Rasslin fan like we are, maybe one of these shows can win you over. You know, it's not all about WWE, man. Like, and I don't know how many people are just out there, you know, just saying TNA sucks and don't even watch it. Like, you know, you got to give other shit a chance. You can't just always go with the big leagues, you know? It's like college sports sometimes. People, like, gloss it over because it's not the NFL or it's not the NBA. But, you know, other people have talent, too, and they need to be recognized for it, and they care about entertaining people. And, you know, whether it's live music, seeing local bands, whether it's, you know, God knows whatever other thing, art exhibits, who knows? It's shit that's here in our local communities, and it's there for you. It's an asset, it's a resource. And with the live wrestling, it brings in so many faces you would never ever get to meet otherwise, unless you fucking, you know, you tour the globe trying to catch up with these guys. You know, it's fantastic, and it's a good way to get a hug from a certain, you know, leader of an army, if you know what I'm saying. Well, I think we're done talking to death. He and I are going to go tag out, maybe drink another beer, and we'll see you around.
Yep. Peace.